professional wrestling, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. This is Wrestling is for Losers, a podcast that's not fake, it's predetermined.
It's me, Shoe Boots, once again. Welcome to the show. Tonight is our Summerslam Go Home Show, and we're going to be talking about each match on the card, at least each match announced so far. We're going to go on record with our predictions, and then we're going to talk about how bad Coltrane's predictions were next week when we see what happened. Tonight is all about the build-up to the biggest party of the summer. But before we get to it, let's meet our co-hosts. First, you know him, you may love him. He is our resident 80s watcher, hiatus taker, and now watcher again. It's Coltrane, everybody.
Hello. Yes, indeed. Hiatus, indeed. You want to know why, Boots? You want to know why it's been so long?
Yes.
You want to know how long it's been? It's been 30 years. 30 years since these eyes have seen the titans of the turnbuckles making moose milk on the mat of madness. These raging rhinos rocking and rolling ringside while their retinas burn radish red. These people. These picturesque people of power presenting pectoral perfection, inviting you to a puberty-packed party of pain, pizzazz, and protein-pumped prima donnas. My name is Coltrane. When it comes to wrestling, I am in like Flynn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Excited about this week. Another crazy week in wrestling. Really pumped to get into it and talk about it. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, before we get to it, we've got to also introduce our other co-host whose hairline we will not be discussing on the show today. That's just for the pre-show. Join us for the pre-show. But he's here. He's our resident WWE shill. And so this is his moment. It's Texas Crazy Horse. How you doing?
Why do you keep setting me up like this? You let Coltrane go. And he does this beautiful speech about the moose milk and red whatever eyes, and I can't copy that. So hi, how you doing today?
So Boots goes with hairline. Come on, Boots. You got to pump up Texas here.
No, you gotta let me go first. So no matter what I say, he doesn't.
You want to go first?
You
don't want to follow Coltrane.
Follow this. You put the best first, and you get the backup second.
All right. Well,
no, I think what's happening, you put the most annoying person first. That's actually what you're saying.
I think that for next week, you should write a Coltrane-esque alliterated opening.
I like it. I'll do it, but then I forget about it, and I won't do it.
Perfect. We'll remind you throughout the week.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
I'll have something. I'm gonna blow your mind.
Yes.
All right. Coltrane, I need you to write me one.
You got it, buddy. We'll talk after the show. You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
ChatGPT.
There we go.
The power of AI.
All right. All right. Well, it's a big week. We got SummerSlam this weekend. Quick production note. I once again am inconveniencing my co-hosts by being summoned to the lake this weekend. It's a long weekend in Canada. So we will be doing our post-SummerSlam show Monday night as opposed to our usual Sunday night. If you're listening to this on podcast, it probably won't affect you at all. But if you do listen live, it will be Monday next week, not Sunday. And aside from that, this is our last show of the WWE program, so to speak. So after this, we're going to move into sort of a new era for the show. We're going to be all done with our introductory programs, and we're going to start digging into specific topics, talking about specific wrestlers, specific matches, specific moments, specific eras. And we're going to, some of these will be a one-off, maybe one show. Some of them we might spend a few weeks on. It'll really depend what the subject warrants. But if there's something specific that you'd like us to talk about, write the show, wrestlinglosers@gmail.com, or X me at the Shoe Boots on X.
Oof.
Just X
Right.
out an X at me on X, and I'll X you right back.
You got it. That's perfect. And I'm also excited about this particular thing because some of this is going to be kind of a new thing, a history lesson for me, for somebody that hasn't watched for 30 years. You know, some of these famous wrestlers, I don't know their story. You know, Brock Lesnar, the beast, right? How did Brock Lesnar become Brock Lesnar? You know, what's the deal with him? You know, all these famous guys that have come up through the ranks that are household names. But for someone that's brand new getting into it, no idea. So I'm excited to kind of get into the history of some of this stuff and just know the backstories.
And I'm going to put this word out because I know that there are some super hardcore wrestling fans who listen to the show. Golden Poppy is one of them, was on the show. Iron Grudge is always in the chat, another one. If you guys have good ideas or leads on places like, say, for example, Colt's example, Brock Lesnar. Well, I know who Brock Lesnar is, but I also took a almost 20-year hiatus from wrestling. So there's some gaps I need to fill. If anyone knows a great website or a good resource for kind of like getting the Cole's notes on some wrestlers, that would be a good place to get us started. But I am excited to dig in on some of these guys, and maybe we'll let you guys. I'll start, but if you guys have something you're passionate about and kind of want to do the homework and guide the segment when we talk about it, that'd be cool too. But we're gonna play it by ear. We're gonna grow. Try to get some more interviews going, maybe some more guests. That'd be fun. But that is for later because we have to talk about SummerSlam tonight. And before we talk about SummerSlam, we got to talk about the news. And before we talk about the news, we got to talk about what happened in wrestling this week outside of WWE, which for us is pretty much, some AEW. I watched it all, of course. I don't know about you guys. I watched Collision last night, and I got to say, I was telling before we went live, I was mentioning this. I'm glad we're doing this WWE program, but the real shame of it is that the MJF Adam Cole bromance is the wrestling story of the summer. In a perfect world, we'd be covering every minute of this. And last night was no different. If you haven't watched it, I'm about to spoil what happened. But their big match, their big tag team championship match against FTR was last night. And by the way, it was a banger. FTR, after having a banger in Calgary when I was there in the audience, as you may know, they did a banger again, and they're going to defend their championships again next week. So FTR's rocking it. But a lot of people thought that MJF and Adam Cole were going to win the tag team championships, and they did not. Not only that, but MJF was pinned relatively clean. He was rolled up. It's a surprise roll up, basically. Not exactly, but more or less. And he got pinned. And so, we were talking about last week, who's going to turn? What's going to happen when this program ends? I'm going to take you guys through it for those of you that didn't see it.
Yeah.
So they get pinned, and MJF gets pinned, and FTR grabs their belts. They cheer, like they go off, and MJF, dude, this is where wrestling is magic. Even after I tell you this, you need to go back and watch this. He slumps in the corner crying, and the camera, MJF, the camera picks up. I lost. I got pinned. I lost. And Adam Cole is not in the ring. And so he comes back in the ring and he's like, hey. And he picks up the belt. And for a second I thought, is he going to like smack him with the belt? Because remember we were talking about the turn last week? He's like, but no, he lays it on MJF and says, look at it. You're the champion. You don't need to cry. I love you. You don't need to cry. And MJF is like, what? Really? And then Adam Cole gets up. He gets up and he turns around and cheers for the audience, and his back is turned to MJF, and MJF gets up and looks at him, and he looks at the belt and he looks at Adam Cole, and he gets in position. You know that position. As soon as Adam Cole turns around, gonna smack him in the face with the belt, right? And everyone's oh, and then the shot. The shot is perfect. It's on Adam. It's close up Adam Cole's face, and you can see MJF behind him, doing this. And Adam Cole hears the audience going "Whoa!" And then Adam Cole's it's like,
oh no! He starts freaking out.
He starts cringing, and he starts saying, "Just do what you got to do. Just do what you got to do, man." And MJF's and he's crying, and he's and he drops the belt. He can't do it. And Adam Cole turns around, and the whole audience is like, hug it out. And they run to each other and embrace. And that's the end of the show.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
It's the moment of the summer. It's so good.
That's amazing. This is like some bloodline stuff here. You know what I mean?
We'll never know for sure, but I like to think that this was supposed to be a turn, but that they never knew it was going to be this big of a hit, so they're going to keep it going. That's what I think.
It has to be Adam Cole. His turns on him.
Yeah, because
I called it last week. It has to be him.
Because it will ruin MJF, right? Like he will become his evilest self when he gets betrayed by his one true friend.
Exactly.
Wow. I gotta watch that. I gotta go back and watch that. That sounds incredible.
Oh, good.
And
I love how MJF is like playing such a baby face. Like when they came out to the ring, you know how he's such a jerk, like throwing his gum. He comes out, he's high-fiving everyone. He finds some kid in the front row, puts his arm around him, turns to the camera like, "We're gonna get the belts, aren't we, buddy?" Like, just like
you're kidding. Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to touch on, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. I did see everything this week. We will talk about WWE. Dynamite was fine. I know I'm a bit of a AEW shill. I do have one complaint. I would have liked to start seeing some build up to All In, which is now less than a month away, but we didn't see it on Dynamite. We maybe saw a couple like seeds being planted, but I would say Collision did a good job. So the other big thing that happened on Collision is CM Punk came out with his red bag, and Tony Schiavone asked, "Well, what's in the bag?" And he took it out, and he took out his AEW champion and proclaimed that he is the real champion of AEW, that he was never pinned, he was never submitted. He said, "I still have the belt with my name on it. My blood is still on this belt from when I beat Jon Moxley last September. Until somebody takes this belt from me, I am the champion of AEW."
Wow.
And then he put the belt down and he drew a big black X in spray paint. He spray painted a big black X across it. His symbol, you know, he wears the straight edge X on his hands. And he put it up. He's like, "This is my symbol. It's been my symbol since 1997. And I'm straight edge. This is my symbol, and this is my belt. And until somebody pins me, until somebody submits me, I'm carrying this belt."
Wow.
And then it went on. Ricky Starks challenged him for that belt. So they're gonna fight, but next week. But I think in a world where you can't book MJF or CM Punk versus Omega, which is the biggest money you can book, but if legally or whatever you're not going to do that, the best match you can book is CM Punk versus MJF. And I think and that was definitely teased, because when he hold up the belt, he's like, "I'm straight edge. I'm the best in the world, and I'm better than you." Like he said MJF's phrase. So
right. That's awesome.
So I don't know if it's going to be All In or All Out, but they're definitely teasing that match is coming.
Tex, you got to admit, being a WWE shill, that's some great storytelling. Like that's some pretty awesome stuff, right? Come on, you got to admit that.
I've always said MJF is one of the most talented guys in wrestling,
right?
And so we all know CM Punk is.
Yeah.
So you're just naming two people that I already think highly of, and I do agree those are two good stories. Now I haven't been the best AEW fan recently, but it does seem to get a little bit shallow after that. And the fact that they don't even have one fight announced for their pay-per-view is kind of like,
I mean, that's a problem. They need to get on that. But
right.
But that could be fixed in a week. It just who knows?
They need to get at least one or two big matches announced pretty quick so we can start building towards them.
That being said, it doesn't seem to be hurting their ticket sales.
Yeah.
That's a segue.
Yes.
That's a segue for you there.
All right. Well,
See
I
the
gotta
brilliance?
clear my throat. Let me mute myself for 1 sec.
You see the brilliance of Texas right there? Look at that. That was pro.
Set him up.
I appreciate the segue, but are we done? Did you guys want to talk about anything you saw this week, or should we move on to the news?
Well, I mean, I saw the biggest cliffhanger in television history. I mean, we're talking AEW Dynamite, Collision, Raw, SmackDown, the biggest cliffhanger ever was the latest episode of Temptation Island. It was unbelievable.
I should have taken the segue. I'm sorry, Tex.
You could have had the segue. You chose not to. And now you got to hear about Hall having to and tell his fiance that he's fallen in love with another woman. They're engaged. They went to Temptation Island. He's fallen in love with someone else, and the engagement's off. It's off. And it was a cliffhanger. He approached her at the end of the episode. She's like, oh, no, what's it about? He's like, baby, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something right now. And then credits. Unbelievable. Unbelievable television. Edge of my seat. Insane.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Just done. Temptation Island this season. Unbelievable. They got the love light. The love light.
Oh.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Completely
Love it.
turned everything
Love
upside
it.
down. But what were you saying about AEW ticket sales? What was that?
I wish I was dead.
Actually,
Yeah.
I actually have something I watched this week.
Okay. What? The Amazing Race? What?
Sat down on my couch, getting ready to watch some wrestling. There was a Stone Cold biopic. I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go on Peacock, turn it on, and watch it." Turn on Peacock. What's the first thing I see? Temptation Island.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so excited. I was like, I have to watch. It's a sign to turn this on. So I went to go start it. My wife looks at me. She said, "You ain't starting that without me." So I had to turn it off and watch Stone Cold. But I at least favored it, and I'm gonna watch it next week.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You see, and
So
you're going to
excited.
watch it with your wife. You're establishing more connections.
Yeah.
Just call me the love doctor. I'm
Ooh, I
I'm
love it.
bringing you and your wife
Love it.
together over Temptation Island. It brings the whole world together.
I apologize. I inhaled water when you said that, so I didn't mean I tried to cough for a while.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
That's
boy.
awesome, man. That's awesome, Tex.
But watching the Stone Cold biopic, I will grow a goatee and shave my head, and I'm gonna give me a jacket without arms.
A vest?
Yes.
A vest?
Yes. That's really in these days. It's 2023. Jacket, no arms, right?
Yeah.
Just
Can we
all out
cut
there. Armpits out. That's how we roll these days.
Can we
Armpits
cut
out.
that? Can we?
Cut it where you.
I'm just gonna say here, vest. Now add that to what earlier.
All right. I was too lazy to edit your F-bomb out the other week. I just
Oh,
marked
boy.
that episode as explicit and moved on. But
Right, fantastic.
so I don't think I'll be doing any of that.
Right.
So
Um,
segue.
yeah. All right. Well, news. Let's get the news. I guess we might as well start with what you're talking about. The big AEW news is that it does appear that AEW has hit the 80,000 mark for All In. And David Meltzer reported they were nearly there a couple days ago. It was a little confusing on Collision last night. One of the announcers at one point said that I should have went back and double listened, but he seemed to say that they hit 88,000 in sales. And I was like, oh my God. But later on, he said, no, that they hit 80,000 and that 88,000 was their goal because it would be a record.
Mm.
It would be an attendance record. Although I didn't quite catch which attendance record it would be because everyone talks about how Wembley seats 90. So is everyone rounding up? Like, is 88,000 the actual seating? I don't know.
Is 90 before the stage, or is that counting the stage?
I don't know. So I don't know.
That's amazing, though. I mean, talk about ticket sales. I
Well,
remember we were talking about 35,000.
Yeah, if you
Now look at us.
If you go on Ticketmaster or whatever it is and look, there is no stage planned for that show. It's full. Like there might be a little stage, but it's not like a chunk of the stadium is blocked off. They're selling it 360 degrees with a small
Wow.
entrance.
I'm personally like when WWE did it in Puerto Rico, when they don't do a stage, they just do the little entrance, and the crowd goes, it just all around them.
Yeah.
I like it a lot better that way.
I like it too. My only complaint about the way WWE does it is they do it in that weird, long, winding entrance. Like,
Mhm.
I think they should, if you're gonna do it, you should do it like right in the hard cam view, like right behind the actual wrestling ring should be the small entrance. I've seen them do that. I think they did that for WrestleMania 10. That's what I would do.
One thing too, I noticed WWE doesn't like AEW does the big long ramp. I really like the big high long ramp down. AEW, they're on the floor level.
Yeah. Oh, you got that backwards. WWE is on the floor level.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Oh, did I say it backwards?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
So
I prefer the AEW way because that seems more old school, right? Isn't that how they used to do it?
Yeah, WWE only last year changed that. They had the ramp up
you're
until last
kidding.
year.
I
And
wonder
I
why.
don't know why they did it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Also seems like super counterproductive. Like they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. There's so many cool things that you can do when there's a stage, like having trap doors, people having entrances where they come out from it. You can if you actually watch WWE and kind of pay attention to the background for these entrances, somebody is running out special effects pieces for certain pyrotechniques and then running them away because they're there when Seth Rollins or Cody Rhodes pops in and then they're gone later. So it seems like just a lot of work that they're doing for no good reason, and it looked better on the stage. I totally agree.
Right.
I think it might have been. I think it was Impact or whoever it was. They used to have a ramp that went right up to the mat and
Right up to the ring.
Yeah, and it was up still.
AEW hasn't done that in a while, but they've done that from time to time.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Smaller venues, they do that. They have if it's a smaller venue, the ramp will just go right up to the ring. And, yeah.
Well, super exciting about Wembley, man. I mean, these ticket sales are huge. I mean, my gosh, massive sell. I mean, these tickets, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I gotta be the WWE shill here.
Yeah, let's hear it. I was waiting. I was waiting for it, Tex.
Now, we know AEW hasn't announced any matches.
Yeah.
I mean, we know a couple that probably going to be there, but we don't know for sure. How much of these 80,000 tickets are just people wanting to watch wrestling, and how many of these people are there just because it's AEW?
That's your take. That's your argument, Tex.
Who cares?
It does care. I'll tell you who cares. WWE cares because they're I guarantee you. I'm going to say this out here.
All right.
I know this because I talked to Triple H. I mean, they're my buddies.
That's true.
The second we get the final actual number, WWE's going to do whatever they have to do to beat that, which is good for the London fans, but I'm just curious.
Right.
When they try, if they're going to be able to, or is this just an AEW town? Sometimes some towns are just AEW towns.
Well, maybe with these numbers being published, because these are huge numbers, WWE is going to see them. We had John Cena tease WWE SummerSlam. It was SummerSlam, was it, or WrestleMania?
WrestleMania. Bring WrestleMania to London. That was what he was teasing.
Maybe they'll push that more now.
I think.
Go ahead.
But I see your point now, Tex. Just real quick, I see your point now. So at first I was like, okay, WWE, you're saying oh, well, how much is just for wrestling? But now I get what you're saying. Now I get what you're saying. Go ahead.
It was so unreasonable that I had to bring my portable Enlightenment reader and read some pages from it to get some reason back.
To calm down, right.
Oh, David Hume.
It does sound a little desperate, but I see what you're saying, though. Because WWE, all they ever talk about is ratings, and they never sell out. And then here they are selling out 80,000, possibly 88. They're probably going to go to 90 for sure.
Yeah,
I expect to sell out, especially when,
at this point.
If Will Ospreay's on the card, it'll be a sellout.
Here's the other thing, too, is it's really interesting that they have one of their major typical pay-per-views 1 week later in Chicago. So a lot of us, it's entirely possible that this all-in show might not actually. It'll have some matches, I'm sure, that perpetuate the AEW storyline, but it might be more of a big showcase of dream matches, right? Like they might bring in some external people. There's rumors that Bill Goldberg might show up. Will Ospreay is another name that pops up. What's her name now? Mercedes Moné.
I think she's hurt though.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll be back, but if she so it could be more of a showcase of these great matches, and that all out in Chicago is where they're going to have their big storyline matches, or it could be a mix of both. Who knows? But either way, even if that is the case, they need to start getting All Out booked. So
I was about to say that. Do we know the ticket sales for All Out?
I could look up what WrestleTix has to say on X.
Because if we're just
on X.
because it would be a shame if they sell maybe if they sell 90,000 tickets, and then next week at the next pay-per-view they sell 15.
Well, first of all, 15 is probably a max capacity for where they're going to be for
Yeah,
15 is a really good turnout for a basketball / hockey size arena. That's pretty massive. Like
Also, that's all right, Tex. Here's what I need from you. And I'm sorry for interrupting, Boots. I need you, Texas Crazy Horse, right now to admit, to say on the air live that 80,000 is an impressive number for AEW.
I did just say I think they sell out, and it's really impressive.
There it is.
But
that's it. You don't have to say anything more. That's it. That's
impressive.
great. That's awesome.
End of the day, that's 90,000 tickets you're selling, and that's a win.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. All right. I don't want to hear about the next week pay-per-view, and they're probably going to fail in the pay-per-view afterwards and all this other WWE stuff. That's a huge win. AEW is putting themselves on the map big time. They're obviously a huge force. That's a massive number of tickets. And I really think we're going to see a SummerSlam in London being really pushed by WWE in the next, month or so. I think you're going to see a ramp up in that based on these numbers alone. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I would not disagree.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tex. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. I had to get it out there. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Tex. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, also on that note, I mean, it's not 80,000, but SummerSlam is also selling really well. 45,000 tickets sold. Could be a sellout. I haven't actually seen the layout if they're blocking off part of it, but they are playing, I believe, in the football stadium there in Detroit.
Yes.
I got to say, I keep holding this. I'll put it away. The logo this year for SummerSlam, I hated it when I first saw it. But I actually love it now, seeing what they've done with the muscle cars, their little little promotional animation that they do, where the two cars and each wrestler's name is the badge on the side of the car. I think that's awesome. That was super well done.
Now you ready for my AEW fandom to come out?
I'm sitting down.
What?
I didn't know there was 45,000 people in Detroit. So I'm shocked. I'm shocked that there's that many. And there's no way they're selling this thing out. If they didn't sell SummerSlam last year, they're not selling this out. There's no way they're going to sell 100,000 tickets.
I don't know, man. This card for SummerSlam is stacked. And especially with the new additions, with LA Knight now being added to it as well. Yeah. I mean, it's stacked. It looks insane. In fact, I had to tell my wife that we need to renew Peacock again. All right. We just have to. All right. For SummerSlam. So we had to renew
and Temptation Island on Peacock.
Well, I mean, yes, of course. So. Right. I mean, that's just a given.
That's a good weekend right there. Some Temptation Island.
The best weekend. Right? Do you need anything more? All right. Sorry. Go on.
All right. I think then on this, I'm going to take this segue and let's move on to our main topic. Let's talk SummerSlam. Let's talk predictions. Let's get on record. And I've actually set up, I know that I'm bad for this. I get people's predictions and then I don't remember them. So I've gotten our little spreadsheet here. I'm going to type them into the spreadsheet as we say them. So we're going to be on record for next week to see what's what.
It's going to be spicy. It's going to be spicy.
Should you start at the bottom and work our way up?
Do we want to do that? Want to start at the bottom, work our way up? I think that might be fun. All right. Well, let's start with the maybe match. And that is the match that I think is going to happen, but they haven't actually said it's going to happen. But, they always add a match or two right in the last week leading up to it. And that is Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Now, we know that Trish Stratus made a deal that basically said to Becky Lynch, if you want a rematch with me, you have to first beat Zoe Starks. And then if you wrestle me and lose, you have to tattoo "Thank you, Trish" on your chest. Which, if I'm going to get critical, I really wish she wouldn't have said that, because now we know who's going to win. Like, there's no scenario where Becky Lynch is tattooing that on her chest. And if there is, I'll eat my shorts.
Well, what if it's like they could do those little fake tattoos?
They could, but I mean, is she gonna put it on for the rest of her career?
I mean,
I guess
Becky
it's WWE,
would do that.
So they could
Becky
just drop it later and not care.
never bring it up again.
Yeah.
They've never done that. I don't know what you're
All
talking
right.
about.
Well, first of all, I think this match is going to get added this week, but we're going to go on record in case it does, and if it doesn't, then these predictions won't count. I'll open it up. I'm going to go on record with this one saying that the... Sorry, let me just adjust this. This thing's misbehaving. I'm going to say that Becky Lynch is going to win this match. Colt?
Well, Becky Lynch, by the way, that match, it was against, was it Zoe Stark?
Great match.
Great match. Very violent.
It's good. Dude, Becky's good. Like, Becky is a legend. And Zoe, in my opinion, is the most promising new talent, certainly on the women's roster, but maybe on the entire WWE roster of like their new crop, you know?
Yeah, she's great.
But Becky Lynch, incredible energy. Like, she reminded me of kind of like the Ultimate Warrior, like at the beginning. Like, she was so like raw. Like, it was just like punch, 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 kick, kick, kick. It was just like crazy. So I will go with Becky Lynch as well, even though I think it could be a fake tattoo that she could wear. But I'm going to go with Becky Lynch because she's the man, right? That's Becky Lynch. She's the man. She's the man. She's earned it. She's a great wrestler. I think it's going to be Becky Lynch. So put me down for Becky Lynch.
All right. Tex?
All right. So I thought Trish was going to win it because I was told Becky might be going away for a little bit after this.
Right.
But like you said, the whole
removal.
tattoo thing, I'm with you. There's no way she's going to lose this match. I do think there will be a stipulation on this, maybe a cage, something. So,
you think they're going to add some terms this
I do. I know Trish has talked about personally that when she was coming up, they didn't ever get a chance to do matches like that. So she wants to be able to one day do like a cage match or something.
Okay.
So I can see that in Lynch.
I'm putting you down for a wild card prediction that there's going to be extra stipulations added to that.
I like that.
Okay.
A little extra juice.
Yeah.
A couple of these.
All right. We're going to rotate the order in which we predict. So the next one's going to go to Colt first. Now, the next match was also announced. Well, not also. The other one wasn't announced. The next match was announced this week. And let me talk to you because we got to mention the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royale because it's not a WWE pay-per-view without a young teenager snack being the main sponsor of some sort of match.
Yes. Something that will ultimately give you diarrhea at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or sometimes it's like an insurance company or something, but it's usually like Mountain Dew or a Slim Jim or I don't know, Hubba Bubba, whatever. So so the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royale. This was announced last was it summer? I think just Friday, right? On SmackDown. Now, I loves me a Battle Royale, so I'm happy about this, but we don't have many details. In fact, all we know is that there's going to be a Battle Royale and that 2 of the entrants have been announced. We don't know any of the other entrants. We don't know how many entrants there's going to be. We don't know if they're all coming in at once, like a traditional, or if it's going to be more Royal Rumble style. I don't know. But the 2 entrants that have been announced are LA Knight,
Yeah.
and Sheamus. Aye.
Banger after banger after banger.
That's right. After banger. That's right.
Banger.
Someone knows it here.
I did like in that promo how he goes, "You and me are going to wrestle," and he goes, "Yeah." Like,
That was great.
That was pretty
great.
amazing. That was pretty amazing.
So Colt, this is going to be a fun one because you can take one of the 2 safe choices, or you could just predict pretty much anyone on the roster because we don't know who's going to.
Well, so that's my question. Is this literally next week?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so this so this seems awfully last minute thrown together, right?
This is I would go so far as to say this is a WWE trope. They get close to the pay-per-view and they kind of know what their card's going to be, and then they come up with a battle royale or something similar to just feature a bunch of other wrestlers on the show, just to give everyone a quick wink on the show kind of thing. Like, this is a great way to, like, everybody who doesn't have a match on the show is going to be in the battle royale so that all the wrestlers are on the show, even if just for 30 seconds.
But isn't the winner of this going to then be in SummerSlam?
No, I don't think they actually said what the winner of this gets. I don't think
Oh.
as far as I know, they get a Slim Jim.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Right. Well, there you go. Yeah. That's all you need. I think without a doubt, it's going to be LA Knight for two reasons. One, in the interview, he said, "How are you going to put down the biggest rising star in WWE?" And he's absolutely right. Everyone goes crazy for him. And he had now I can't remember the name, guys. You told me this. He had like a throwaway match where it's just an easy win. This week.
He had a squash. I
Squash match.
It was it was not quite a squash match, but it was pretty close.
It was quick. That match was like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it was against a kind of a more of a known. It wasn't like, Cousin Ed down the street wrestling night. LA Knight.
WWE's done this weird thing lately that I don't classic me that I don't like, but they're having people on their roster job squash matches to other people on their roster. And in my opinion, if you're going to do a squash match, you should bring in a local talent. You don't need to make anyone on your roster look bad like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, I agree.
Hit Row, who I haven't seen in months. I'm guessing they're on Main Event, which is like WWE's kind of B tier show that we don't talk about on here. But I know who they are. So
yeah, no, and I think that they're kind of starting to feature LA Knight, you know what I mean, and promote him because he's, like you said, he's so over. And I think this is going to be, he's not going to be at SummerSlam, although I thought there was something like the winner of this gets to be on the SummerSlam card or something. But if they found a way to add LA Knight to the SummerSlam card, that would be insane on top of it's already such a stacked deck.
There's a really great way that they could have done it. They could have had him win the U.S. title invitational.
Yes, I know. I know. It would have been so easy. But
they set it up.
I know. I think it's definitely going to be LA Knight. This is the only person they've really announced that's huge. They haven't even announced anybody else yet in this Royal Rumble. It wouldn't make sense for it to be anybody else.
Just Sheamus, but he's been jobbing lately. Like, he's not really being pushed at all. So
exactly. And he, like I said, he looks a little tired. He's a little tired, lately, but he actually looked great in that promo. So I think without a doubt, it's going to be LA Knight. And I think they're going to work out some kind of way where he's going to pin Sheamus and he's like, "Let me talk to you." And he's like, "You want me to be in SummerSlam?" Yeah. And the crowd will go crazy. And then he's going to be in SummerSlam.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
So Colt is making a wild card prediction.
Yes.
That LA Knight is going to somehow finagle his way onto another match that night after winning the Rumble. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, he's going to wrestle the winner of the North American Championship, or the United States Championship. He's going to wrestle the winner of that. So it's either going to be Austin Theory or the other guy,
Santos Escobar. Okay.
Yes, Escobar. That's right.
Hold up. Just
big prediction here. Big wild card.
Just to be the bad news, those two are going to go for the belt in 2 weeks. So.
Oh, they're not going for the belt at SummerSlam?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's not on the card.
Oh, well, then I might be wrong.
Okay. Well,
then who would LA Knight wrestle? I guess he wouldn't wrestle anybody.
I'm just going to put you down as your original prediction, which is going to wriggle his way into some match.
Yes.
I'm not going to make you choose which.
He'll make an appearance. He will be at SummerSlam somehow.
I don't think that's a bad prediction, actually.
All right. Now we're talking.
Well, let's move on to Tex. Now, Tex, are you going to predict LA Knight or Randy Orton? What's your prediction for the Battle Royal here?
So, the wrestling gods want me to pick LA Knight, but I'm sick and tired of picking LA Knight.
Yeah.
No.
I'm tired of being wrong. So no. So here's what's going to happen. This is where Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt shows up. I would put all my money on it. Now, LA Knight might win it, and then one of them shows up. or one of them might be in the match. So I don't think LA Knight wins this. Can that be my prediction? Not LA Knight?
It can, but you're not going to get nearly as much credit as picking someone else.
That's right. You got to throw a name in there. Come on, Tex.
Okay. I pick Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
You haven't seen
Isn't he the Sausage King of Chicago?
How'd you know?
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman's this huge guy that has been on injury for a while, but he for a while was tag teaming with Ricochet, and he
Oh.
Big old boy.
and he would throw Ricochet at the opponents.
What?
It was pretty great.
What? Oh gosh, this wrestling is so amazing. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I want LA Knight to win this. I'm just so sick of picking him.
Okay, well, I'm in the middle because I got to say I have had the same concerns that Tex has had. That like I'm so sick of predicting LA Knight and then they just screw it up. And so I would not be surprised if LA Knight didn't win. And I actually think that you may have hit a gold mine predicting Bray Wyatt, but you didn't take it. I'm not going to take it because I've decided that I would rather lose the point and go down with this ship than not pick LA Knight. So I'm going to predict LA Knight is going to win the Battle Royal.
No.
Look, this is one I'm going to win by so many points, so it doesn't matter.
That's true.
This is 1 point I'm willing to give you.
You did win last time, didn't you? But it was because I made a bonus one that was worth a lot of points, didn't I?
Yeah, it was something really cool too. Like
otherwise, I would have won.
I don't remember what it was.
I'm not
but it was
doing
really
that again.
cool.
All right.
No.
Now, Tex, it is your turn to go first, and what I think we can all agree is the most exciting match of the night: Ricochet versus Logan Paul. Now,
Okay.
I gotta give credit to Ricochet. I really think that he has stepped up more than I've ever seen him to try to push this match. But I just am not buying into it. And I don't, it might be more that I don't care about Logan Paul, but I'm just not into it. But I don't want to fault Ricochet here. I don't know what it is. What do you guys think?
I think you have a good point, and I think this is going to be a match where I think once it's done, we're like, you know what, that was a pretty good match.
I actually think it will be a good match. Yeah,
I don't think it's not a match that I'm going to spend money for. It's just not.
Yeah,
but I think it could steal the show. It's very possible.
There's gonna be a lot of high flying in this match.
So I have to make a pick here, and I'm going with Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Because Logan Paul hasn't won in a while.
Yeah.
And you got to give him a win every once in a while.
Will it be a clean win or dirty?
Dirty. Somehow be dirty. I don't know how, but somehow it'll be dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, you're next. Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But it's okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Logan Paul has had some super high profile matches as of late, and this is them, like almost too high profile, like ones that he can't win because it wouldn't be good. And I think this is them getting like Ricochet is kind of like he can do the job for Logan Paul, and it'll be fine. So I think that that's very, very intentional. I'm predicting Logan Paul.
I'm also going to go Logan Paul. One thing I got to say about Ricochet, I've never really seen this guy. I really haven't seen him wrestle. He did a flip out of the ring and onto the mat. Did you see that? Like on the outside,
dude,
he did like a front flip.
This guy's Flippy Magoo. He would
unbelievable.
So you should go back if you get a chance and watch the men's Royal Rumble match from this year, 2023, because both Logan Paul and Ricochet were in it, and they stole the moment. And that's sort of like, that's the seed all the way back in January for this match, is that they actually both jumped from opposite sides of the ring. They bounced with their feet off of the top rope, and they bounced and met in midair in the middle of the ring and clotheslined each other.
What?
It's crazy.
Like Mission Impossible 2 type stuff.
Yeah,
right
I'm
there.
sure you could find a clip on YouTube of just that moment, but like it was crazy. So like that was sort of the catalyst of like, well, these two got to fight now. But
That's
it took
awesome.
them like 7 months to get to it. 6 months.
Yeah, but even when he did like the kind of the pin, or he did some kind of body slam thing where he did like another front flip, and I'm like, wow, this guy he's a flyer, like big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna upset Mr. AEW over there. Logan Paul has the best lariat in the wrestling. Period.
Clothesline?
Sorry, Hangman. It's better than Hangman's.
Oh, he does the same finisher. What does Hangman call it again? The shotgun layer? No, God, why am I forgetting his? What's Hangman? Someone in the chat help me.
It's not shotgun
It's the
layer?
shotgun. He calls it something.
It's the PYP, the poop your
I
pants.
can't believe I'm blanking on this. I know this.
Is that not
The
right?
buckshot lariat.
Buckshot.
Of course,
Thank you,
the
Aaron
buckshot because he's in their pockets.
Right.
No, because buckshot.
I'm being a shill.
You're the Texan. You don't know what buckshot? Okay. So,
No, look. Triple H pays me money to talk bad about AEW. I have to.
All right. I don't have an opinion on that. Maybe he does do a better buckshot lariat than Hangman. Logan Paul, here's the thing about Logan Paul. When he wrestles, he puts on great matches consistently. But
It's annoying.
it's annoying that he does. I want him to suck. From what I understand, though, in fairness, is his matches are generally highly rehearsed with lots of pre-planned spots because he doesn't have the in-ring experience to be able to just talk it out in the ring. So when he does matches, whoever's working with him has to do a lot of preparation with him before the match. And it's highly choreographed, is my understanding. Now, I'm not saying that as like a insult against Logan Paul because he's effing doing it, you know?
Yeah.
But it is something to keep in mind when you're kind of like comparing him to the greats of wrestling, that is something that I think kind of dials it back. I think if
I disagree.
If every wrestler had the opportunity that he has to choreograph every match that they're in and only ever had to had to wrestle at massive pay-per-views, they'd probably look pretty good too.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Because he's not doing that every week.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to say to take away from him. I'm just saying that like when I compare Logan Paul to other wrestlers, there's like an asterisk beside it in my mind.
I don't know. At the end of the day, for me, it's who puts on the best show. And how they got there is up to them. And even though he's only wrestling, because you can say the same thing about MJF. He's not wrestling every week.
You could, yeah. Yeah, you could.
Know?
It's fair. But I still would do that. Because MJF has the experience that he doesn't have to do that practice. Like MJF might not wrestle much, but he's a professional wrestler. Like he can go in and do a match.
I like to give the people he wrestles, like Seth Rollins, I give him a lot of credit for their match.
Yeah.
Being able to take a guy like that and be able to make it look so real. Even Roman's match. For Roman to be able to carry him. And I think Logan's good enough. So
yeah.
Oh, it's annoying.
It's annoying. All right.
Logan Paul.
Logan effing Paul.
And Pulse is pretty good too. Don't watch that. Watch us.
I'm not worried about the impulsive audience. Anyway. By the way, his drink Prime, it's all of a sudden everywhere here. Has it been everywhere around there for a long time?
Yes, it's all over the place.
Because it just came to Canada or something. Like all of a sudden I go into the convenience store and it's like Prime everywhere. And it's like, oh my God, this guy's making so much money off this stupid drink. Have you ever had it? I haven't had it. Is it good?
No. I only drink water and black tea.
Right.
I'm a good kid.
Okay.
He's not drinking Prime.
It's not Prime. All right. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. Now, this one I want to give credit where it's due. I feel like these two have done a pretty good job building this thing up because neither of them is known for their mic skills. In fact, they're known for lack thereof. So I do think that I'm invested in this match. Like they've done a pretty good job of making me interested. One thing that's weird is that they said it's not going to be a match. It's going to be a fight. We're going to have a fight. But they didn't define what that is. So I don't know if what that means. But
right. Does that mean tribal law? Like
tribal rules?
Right.
Also known as no disqualification.
Exactly. Right. But it sounds much better as tribal rules or whatever that the elders are aware of.
It sounds better than we're going to have a Slim Jim match, but I'll give him that.
Yes, exactly. Right.
All right. It's my turn to go first. I think I'm going to predict, and I think this one is actually one of the tougher calls of this card, but I'm going to predict Shayna Baszler is going to win. And I think the only reason I'm making that prediction is because I do think that this might be it for Ronda Rousey from what at least for now, from what I've read. So that
she's taking a break.
Well, maybe this is the end of her wrestling career. Who knows? Last time she took a break, she took like a 2-year break. So maybe she wants to have another kid. Maybe she's just done with wrestling. I don't know. Colt.
My prediction is could care less. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care about Ronda Rousey or Shayna Baszler. Every time they're on camera and they're trying to act tough and like, let me tell you about my horrible mic skills. Well, I give you more horrible mic skills.
All right.
It just makes me cringe. So I think it's going to be Shayna.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. I think it's going to be Shayna is going to win it. I think you're right. I think this is Ronda Rousey's out, but I don't know what it is, man. For some reason, these two I'm not a fan.
Generally, I agree with you. And maybe it's because I've been watching them for a while and my expectations are low and they're exceeding low expectations. But I mean, I don't want to be too insulting, but like, let's be honest. It's just not working. And the problem with it is like, they're both good wrestlers and the solution is always easy. Just give them a manager. And for some
let the
reason,
manager talk.
Yeah, for some reason, more so WWE, but also AEW is guilty of this. People are hesitant to do that these days, and I think it's just so like that's a trope that has existed in wrestling for as long as there's been wrestling. Because as long as there's been wrestling, they've been like carting people in from all over the world that don't speak English, and they just put a manager to speak for them, and it's just so easy, and it's such a great. There's so many great talents that can be great managers. Especially like people that might not have the ring skills, but they're great on the mic. Like use them there. I don't know.
Or be like Hook and just never say anything.
Right.
With no manager. There's just silence, but it still works.
I don't know how many wrestlers you can give that gimmick to before it starts affecting the overall show.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
All right, Tex, prediction time.
I disagree. Colt, you're wrong on this one.
Ooh.
Shayna has been killing it on the mic.
She's better.
I think I told you, Ronda's the worst, and I will stick by what I said. But Shayna, I've been really impressed with Shayna, and she's been saying what I've been wanting people to say forever, telling Ronda to shut up.
That's true.
I'm all for it, and I think Shayna wins this. It's for the same reason Ronda's leaving. And I think it'll boost her up to a main eventer, which they need more of. So,
yeah. And I will admit, you're right. Shayna was amazing on the mic. I think it was last week or something. She was fantastic. Like I was super impressed. She was in the ring talking, and she was great. So yeah, you're totally right. So forgive me on that. That's my bad.
I give her credit, and you disagree. Tex disagrees with you, and you just change your tune. I see what's
because he knows who's daddy.
Wow.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're moving right along here. Okay. It's time to talk about the Intercontinental title. I think that, Colt's going to go first. But I just want to say, Drew McIntyre should be in the main event picture. He should not be wrestling for this belt. Regardless of what I think the outcome is, Drew McIntyre has been a world champion, and he deserves another world championship. He should have won it off Roman Reigns a long time ago at Clash at the Castle. That should have happened. And then they miraculously recovered from that blunder and built up the Bloodline storyline. And then they ruined the Bloodline storyline by not putting the belt on Cody at WrestleMania 39.
Oh my God, there it is. I was waiting.
Week.
We've gone 54 minutes and he hasn't said it. And there it is.
He was doing so well.
Right? We made it 54 minutes.
I think we're
Mark
doing
that on your
now.
bingo card.
I think we're doing better.
Ooh. I thought we were going to escape one. We're almost there. But yes, go on. Yes.
All right. So I just want to put that out there. But Colt, it is your prediction. So we got Gunther, and we've got Drew McIntyre, who hasn't been bringing his sword out lately, which is probably for the best. But we've got the Scottish Warrior, and is he German or Austrian? I think he's Austrian. Gunther. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the same gimmick.
It doesn't matter. He's going to lose at SummerSlam to Drew McIntyre.
Whoa. Colt is predicting.
Yes.
Wow.
McIntyre will definitely take the belt. Gunther's had it for too long. McIntyre's hugely over. He's back. He looks great. He's in fantastic shape. He's going to bring out the sword and he's going to put the belt on top of it. And he's going to take it. So it's going to be McIntyre without a doubt.
Colt is predicting Drew McIntyre.
You heard me.
All
McIntyre.
right. Tex.
There's no way Drew wins this. Now I disagree with Shu. Drew should be fighting for this because you're trying to up the belt and up Gunther. So if he's fighting, I mean, lower people, no one cares. You got to make him fight upper people, so it raises the value of him. Because no one cares if he's beating Dominic Mysterio.
No, I agree. Well, actually, people might actually really dig that match.
I would like that, actually. My bad. I'm wrong on that one.
No, but he should be fighting mid-carders. And like when the day comes that there's no more mid-carders left, then he should drop the belt probably.
I agree to a point, but when the belt's being so ruined over the last however many years, is you got to put prestige behind them.
Sure,
and this is one of the ways to do it.
Oh my God.
But I do agree he does need to lose the belt. Now, I was going to say whoever didn't come to the Battle Royal, Wyatt or Randy, they would come here. But we just had that with Drew last time. So I think Gunther wins cleanly against Drew McIntyre.
Woo! All right, Boots, you're the tiebreaker here.
Well, I'm excited about this because I believed, Colt, you and I have had the exact same predictions the whole way so far. Finally, we're going to have a tiebreaker. I am absolutely predicting Gunther's going to win this.
Oh!
I think that, and here's why. It's not because he should. It's not because it's good for the story. It's not because it's good for Gunther or good for Drew. It's because they want him to beat Honky Tonk Man's record of holding the Intercontinental title. And I believe, I can't remember the exact day, but I believe he will hit that at some point this fall. So I think they're...
Honky Tonk from the 80s?
He has the record. He's the longest holder of the Intercontinental title of all time.
I know Honky Tonk.
Yeah, well,
I'm all about Honky Tonk.
He's a Honky Tonk man.
Yes. I didn't know that. He had the record.
He's got to this day, he holds the record.
And how close is Gunther?
Apparently he will surpass it at some point this year. So,
I believe it's less than 100 days left.
So I think that for whatever reason, WWE, I don't know if this is a Vince call or what, but they've just got this inner need to just defeat all these records, and like
right,
like the actual story seems to be secondary to it in many cases. So I think they're going to do it at this point.
I disagree. I think this is a Triple H call.
Well, maybe I said I don't know who's doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Vince hated Gunther. And I think this is, if you want to argue what good Triple H has done, Gunther is probably his number one thing he's done great. And he wants to shove it down Vince's face.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're divvying up the booking there, but yeah, I do think Gunther's going to win, and I think that we needed to get at least one match where you and I have a different prediction.
That's fair.
So this can be it.
This can be it. And also, chat's saying about 40 days, September 6th, 2023 will break the record.
Okay, so close.
By September 6th. So that's right around the corner. Okay.
Maybe he lose it at Survivor Series?
I feel like he'll lose it shortly after. I mean, they're in a weird bind right now because they need new people at the top of the card, but they've also got a lot of people at the top of the card. Like they're kind of bloated up there. And I think that's in my opinion, that's why guys like Sheamus and Drew are kind of back down to the mid card, because there's just no room for them at the top anymore.
Right.
And so I don't know what the solution to that is. Maybe they're going to retire some of these people. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that Drew McIntyre is leaving WWE soon. I don't know if they're true. I don't know if they're true, but there's a lot of rumors. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, we got a disagreement on that one, but that's okay. It's okay that you'll be wrong. This will put me ahead of you, Boots. So this is good.
This will. Good. In some crazy world where you get where Drew wins the All right. Okay, Tex, you're up, and we're getting into the top of the card now. It is time to talk about probably what I think is the match that I care most about in this SummerSlam. And it would have been the main event if Cody Rhodes had the title, but it won't be the main event because Roman Reigns has the title. It's Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Said it again at 1 hour, 1 minute in.
I know. I forgot that I was going to get a chance to say it here. I wouldn't have said it earlier, but I forgot that I'd get a chance to say it here.
Right. It just comes out naturally. I get it. No, it's all right. Like Texas said, you can check your bingo card, everyone. Yeah. Your wrestling is for losers bingo card.
Just think about SummerSlam, your top match, your main event, Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. Oh, beautiful.
Huge. That would have been huge.
It's going to happen probably next year.
Yeah. Just milking it. All right.
So we have one more year of Shoe Boots talk. Okay. All right. So this is insane. All right. Okay.
Well, you'll hear, even after Cody wins the belt, you'll hear it from me because it would have been better. It won't be as good. Anyway, Tex, who's going to win Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar? The rubber match.
This one is bothering me. I'm pretty sure I know who's going to win all the other ones, right? I consider myself an expert.
Yes.
I have people calling me about my opinions.
True.
You know, making
like
bets
a phone
on
survey.
You know those like call me and I'll give you one free bet.
Oh,
one of those people.
I thought it was like, hi, would you like to take a survey about your experience at the theater?
Hey, people are calling. All right, people are calling.
So Cody should win, and I think he will. But something else is going to happen here. I have a feeling. I can't call Randy Orton every match, but something's going to happen at the end of this. Someone else or set up another feud.
Okay.
Cody wins this, but I still think there's going to be a stipulation that we haven't got yet.
You think they're going to add a stipulation at the last minute on this one? Okay. I'll add it.
They gotta do something.
I'm not going to put you on record as saying something's going to happen as your prediction.
Something's going to happen.
Yes, that's not. And then be like, I was right. See, something happened. Right. Point for Tex.
It's Cody Rhodes. Man, I'm iffy on this one.
Okay. I'm second on this one. And I'm going to make... I think Cody Rhodes is going to win. There is a piece of me that makes me think that he's not going to win because they book Cody because of WrestleMania. I just don't trust that they're going to do the right thing. The right thing here is in a world where Roman won WrestleMania 39, then what do we have to do? Well, we can't take the belt, foreshadowing my future prediction, we can't take the belt off Roman Reigns until WrestleMania 40 because that is the show of shows. Anything less than that is awful booking. So what's the best match at WrestleMania 40? I think we can all agree it's Cody. It's Cody versus Roman 2. And this time, Roman has lost all of his people over the last year, and Cody wins clean because he doesn't have any help. That's the story that we need to build to. There's part of me that wonders if WWE has it within them to do the right thing, but I am going to say yes. Cody is going to win here. He's going to move on. He's going to win the rubber match and end the program with Brock Lesnar that's been going on for the last several months. I'm going to say Cody Rhodes, but I'm going to make my wild card prediction here. I also think something is going to happen, Tex, but I'm actually going to say what I think that thing is.
If you say Randy Orton, I'm gonna knock you out.
No, it's not going to be Randy Orton. It's going to be
Dang it.
Bray Wyatt is going to return.
God.
And it's going to set up a program between Bray Wyatt and Cody Rhodes.
I'll
Is
turn the
this a
channel.
good idea? Probably not, but I think this is what they're going to do. And so I'm going to go on record, and I'm just going to type it down.
Wouldn't Randy be so much cooler though? Because they have history.
Sure, but I'm predicting
And-
Bray Wyatt's going to show up.
What if Cody's about to, right? Cody's setting up Brock. Then Randy comes out of nowhere and just RKO's him, and Brock wins.
Do you
I'm
want
just
to go on
throwing that
record
out.
for that?
Yeah, this is the match Randy Orton comes
Wait.
in at.
So now you're saying that Brock's going to win the match? You're changing your prediction?
No, because I still want the point.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Jeez.
it's too late. We should have made a rule that you're risking a point if you make a prediction.
Oh God,
I'm
negatives.
I'm a firm believer in not adding rules after the fact, so we won't do that, but maybe next time.
Look,
All right. Text
eventually, one of these are gonna be right.
Randy Orton something.
There you go. I don't want to
Perfect.
eat I don't want to eat my shorts.
All right.
It's guaranteed pretty much. You better get them ready.
All right, Colt. We got 2 for Cody. Are you going to make it a sweep, or what's your prediction on Cody and Brock?
We're sweeping this baby. Cody Rhodes will defeat Brock Lesnar. I'm really excited to see Brock Lesnar wrestle. I actually really haven't seen him wrestle hardly at all, ever. Really. I've always heard the name, so I'm really excited to watch this match. I think it's gonna be Cody Rhodes, without a doubt. He's gonna win this.
All right.
What if Cody just beats him like easily?
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, because you don't want to ruin Brock, but you could build Cody as like just like the next Stone Cold, right? The next unbeatable guy. So when he goes Roman, he's like Superman at that time.
Yeah, you could.
Well, like Kiggle said in
Not a
chat,
prediction.
he's gonna become Brock Lesnar. Ooh.
I bet if you look at his record, he has a very bad pay-per-view record.
Brock?
Yeah, like the big pay-per-views,
Oh,
but it's
maybe,
very
yeah.
bad.
He's got the biggest delts of anyone I've ever seen.
Dude.
Those things are insane.
I used
That
to
guy's a
look
beast.
like that in middle school.
Okay. Bring the picture for the next show. I want to see this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I think I'm up next for first, but it is time for the WWE Women's Title Triple Threat match, Asuka versus Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair. Now, we had this really odd match on SmackDown this week that I think deserves a little attention. They did a thing which I know a lot of people online panned the idea. They're like, it's a tired idea. But I got to be honest, I like the idea when they take 2 competitors and force them to tag team together. And because why do I like it? Because chaos generally ensues and they turn on each other and it becomes a big mess and it ends up building for the match. Well, at the same time, whoever they're wrestling can clock a win over some big names because it all went to chaos and it protects everybody and it's just good. What happened? Stupid happened. Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair, even though they could not get along, handily defeated Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, who are supposedly the Women's World Tag Team Champions. So the Women's World Tag Team Champions lost a match for no reason against 2 people who had never tagged together before and had trouble getting along in a one fell swoop, like trivializing the championships themselves.
Completely, yeah.
Trivializing Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green's push that they were getting for weeks now, and doing nothing for Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. Nothing to move. It would have done so much more to push their feud forward if they lost the match just brawling with each other.
Right.
I just don't get this choice.
Well, they did have a little argument after the match.
Yeah, a little
a little stiff, a little spat.
Maybe that'll be the opening of this match. They'll have a little argument.
Right. About why did you tag me? Why did you tag? Right. Thrilling.
So, this is a really tough choice, and I don't really feel strongly about any of these. If it were up to me, I would keep the belt on Asuka, but I'm going to predict, and I'm just predicting this because it's WWE, and I've been to this rodeo before. I'm going to predict Charlotte Flair is going to win the championship. Colt, you're up.
Yeah, I'm going Charlotte Flair as well.
Wow.
Totally agree.
Wow.
And I everything you said, Shoeboots, completely. I literally wrote in my notes literally exactly what you said about this whole thing. So I completely agree about this match. It was ridiculous.
Why?
Yeah, and then they defeated him like it was quick. It was just bad. Everything about it was bad.
Totally unnecessary.
Yeah. All right, Tex, let's hear it.
Well, I can't believe y'all. I agree. That was a horrible decision. Io Sky wins.
Oh, well, you think Io Sky is going to insert herself into the match, or do you think she's going to cash in after?
I think she'll cash in after, but I think it's going to be Asuka. Because why give her the belt a month ago if you're just going to take it away? They just gave her the belt
because Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just don't see it happening this time.
Okay.
I think she's in there for star power, but not to win it.
Well, let's hold your Money in the Bank prediction because I have a Money in the Bank prediction here too. But let's just get the match predictions down. Okay. So you're saying Charlotte Flair, or you're saying Asuka's going to win, and we're saying Charlotte Flair, and you are predicting. I'm going to put a sidebar here. This will be. I don't think we're going to make this worth points. But we're going to sidebar Money in the Bank cash in. Tex is predicting that Io cashes in after the match and wins the championship. Okay. I am going to go on record and say that Io will cash in and not win, that Bayley will screw it up for her.
Oh.
Io
That's good.
In and loses. Bayley.
Iron Grudge in our chat says Bianca turns heel. I actually really like that idea.
I like that idea too. I remind me, give you props if it happens, but I don't think it's going to happen. But
do you think Bayley will screw it up for her because she's been getting all these threats? Like, what is this whole setup with the threat
think that's
thing?
what they're going to do. I think the stronger story would be that Bayley's jealousy gets the better of her, but I think they're going to do some weird Shotzi angle with Bayley because that seems to be what they're building towards.
Now, I have another prediction. Now, when Io's about to win it, Randy Orton is going to come out.
Oh, my God. Yes. Exactly. Perfect.
Randy Orton's going to RKO Io Sky.
Oh my God. I think that's another bingo. We've got another bingo in chat. Bingo. We've got another bingo.
All right.
Louise.
Coltrane, would you like to make any women's Money in the Bank predictions?
I'm going Charlotte Flair as well.
No, for the Money in the Bank.
Oh, for the Money in the Bank?
Do you think she's going to cash in?
Yeah, I think she is.
And do you think she's going to win the title?
I think she's going to lose.
Okay. So
yeah.
So kind of what I said.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
which would be cool. I like Io Sky, but it would be cool because she'd be the first one to ever not win it.
That's the other reason I think they're going to do it. Is that, yeah.
They do keep bringing up, it's 100%.
Okay. So on that note, we are now going to move into the last two matches, both of which are title matches for the World Heavyweight title, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, and WWE title versus Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Damian Priest could cash in on either of these if he chooses to. So we'll do the match first and then predict if there's going to be a Money in the Bank. Only predict Money in the Bank if you think he's going to insert himself into the match at this point. But let's move on. Heavyweight title, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. You might feel like you've seen it before because you have.
Only 7 times.
Tex.
How many times?
I just took a guess. I don't know how many times.
I mean, I don't mind if they've wrestled before, but they literally wrestled at the last pay-per-view against each other.
Right.
For this title. So there it is. Colt, you're first. Who do you predict for Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor?
Okay, first, does anyone really like Finn Balor? Really?
You know what? I do.
You're
Not
kidding.
First. It took me a long time to like him. Before the Judgment Day, I thought he was lame. I like him now.
Really?
Yeah.
He gives me Tyrion Lannister vibes from Game of Thrones. I don't know what it is. I don't like Finn Balor. I don't think he's got presence. I don't think he looks tough. I don't think he presents well. I don't think he does good promos. I just don't like Finn Balor. Seth friggin' Rollins, friggin' amazing, right? I just don't like Finn Balor. Damian Priest, love. Rhea Ripley, amazing. I even like Dominic Mysterio. Fantastic. Finn Balor, in fact, when they gave a promo, they were all on the stage at the beginning of Raw, right? And they all gave their own little intros. The one who got the least amount of applause was Finn Balor. Even Rhea Ripley was like, come on, guys. She was like tapping the belt, like, applaud, clap. I'm telling you. So, sorry. I just a little my rant about Finn Balor. I'm just not a big fan. Wait, I won't even ask. So I think Seth friggin' Rollins even talked about it. He said, if you beat me, then Damian Priest is going to cash in and then he's going to beat you. And he's going to take it. Like he even predicted that, which was what my prediction was. But since he said it, now I think it's going to be Seth Rollins to defeat Finn Balor, and then he's going to be injured because Rhea Ripley's going to do something, so he's going to be injured, but he's still going to defeat Finn Balor, and then Damian Priest is going to cash in, and Damian Priest will defeat Seth friggin' Rollins.
Wow.
Because Seth Rollins is going to be injured because they're going to play dirty like they always do. That's my prediction. Does it sound crazy? Do I sound nuts?
No.
I like it.
Let's get nuts.
All right.
All right.
You're predicting Seth Rollins wins the match, but Damian Priest walks out the champ because he's going to cash in right after.
Ooh, now, yes. Now, Iron Grudge says Seth wins, then Damian cashes in, and Finn costs him the cash in.
Oh.
Ooh, that's juicy. Ooh.
Could go that way.
That's juicy. It's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, we
I like
got
that.
Tex, what do you think's going to happen here?
All right. This is the one I'm going on a limb. All right. And no, Randy will not show up in this match. And this is be the one he shows up in once. Finn Balor wins. And he does not cash in, but he thinks about it. But he will not cash in.
So you're not predicting any cash in tonight.
No cash in.
At least not in this match.
Right. Then you have the storyline of Finn Balor is always looking behind his back at his partner who has it, even though he has the championship. I think they have good story opportunities if Finn Balor wins.
Okay. You can't make Finn Balor the champion. The crowd doesn't. I mean, Finn Balor, he's now going to be the champion every week.
But I'm going on a limb here. This is the
All
one
right. That's fair.
I'm on the limb.
All right. This is where Texas loses a point. I'm ecstatic about that. I might pull ahead here, boys. I'm feeling really good about this.
Okay. Well, you've been paying attention.
This could be the one, right?
Yeah.
Listen, the guy that doesn't know anything seems to know everything now. It's amazing.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yes.
All right. I am torn on this one because I can tell you the way it should be booked.
Oh boy.
Don't worry. There's no discussion of the other Roman Reigns' belt here.
All right.
Now, should this match even occur at all? No, it should not. In a world where this match is happening, how do we book it? The way that you should book it has already been discussed. Finn Balor should win the title, and then Damian Priest should cash in on Finn Balor right there because Damian Priest made a promise to Finn that he would let him go have his crack at Seth first. So he immediately does it. Here's why I don't think that's going to happen. Because the Judgment Day is red hot right now, and WWE does not want to break them up. So I think that they will make a choice to keep the Judgment Day together. And I think that as much as I think it's a boring call, I think Seth Rollins is going to win. And I think that Damian is not going to cash in. I think they might do a tease like he's about to, but something happens and he doesn't for some reason. I don't know. You know, when you look at this card, there's a lot of allies to Seth Rollins that are not on this card, namely Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, potentially Matt Riddle. You've got a lot of people that could run in and be equalizers in this match against the Judgment Day, assuming that Dominic and Damian and Rhea are on the floor for this match. So should be interesting. This one hurts because it's not the call that I think should be made, and I'd be willing to lose a point to be proven wrong. I would love to see WWE make a braver choice, but I think they're going to keep it on Seth. And I will say this, I do think that Seth is having a great run with this title, and he does deserve to hold it a little longer. So that's the silver lining to my prediction.
Monday Night Rollins.
To defend my point a little bit, SummerSlam is the second biggest pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Someone has to lose a belt.
Someone has to lose a belt.
Someone has to. I mean, you got to make these cards worth watching, because we all know watch WrestleMania because something exciting is going to happen.
Yeah,
got to make something exciting here.
But I already told you he's going to lose a belt. Asuka's going to lose a belt.
Yeah, no one cares though about that one.
Yeah, world heavyweight title. That's pretty big. That's a big one. Plus, can you imagine Damian Priest, like the Judgment Day? You've got world heavyweight champion, then you've got Rhea Ripley with her belt, like both of them holding their belts together in the 4 with Tyrion Lannister on one side and Dominic Mysterio on the other. Like, that's a powerful image.
Oh, I will like to say congrats to the GOAT Dom on his win tonight, defending his belt at the Great American Bash.
Oh, it was an NXT pay-per-view tonight.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Dom.
Shout out to Dom.
There it is.
Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Love it.
That's right.
Love it.
All right. Okay. Colt went first on that one. So Tex is going to go first on our final match, our main event on the card. It is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the WWE title and the mantle of Tribal Chief in Tribal Combat. Which, if you're saying, hey, what's Tribal Combat? I don't recall them ever explaining that. Well, don't worry, they didn't. But it means, we believe it means no disqualification. Because all they've said, as far as I know, is like, well, it's Tribal Combat. You guys know what that means. Anything goes. I don't know. So, now before we get into this, I have I promise you, I don't mean to rag on this bloodline story. But
if you say Cody.
No, I'm not going to say Cody. I already said Cody. I made sure to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, there is a bee in my bonnet when it comes to this storyline. And it is the events of SmackDown on Friday. Last week, I told you guys why the movie Jurassic Park was bad. The ending was bad. It's a great movie, don't get me wrong. The ending was really bad. And I told you that if you're going to world build, you have to live in the world you built. And last week, when Tribal Combat was established, maybe it was 2 weeks ago now, when Tribal Combat was established, Solo Sikoa got up to attack Jey Uso, and Roman stopped him. And then Jey Uso kicked Solo out, and Roman did nothing. And we were all led to believe, Tex, you're way out of focus for some reason. I don't know why. We were all led
Sick of this.
to believe that you can't attack them because they're having Tribal Combat. This week, Solo and Roman beat the living crap out of Jey. What's going on here?
Right.
It's the T-Rex in the room all over again.
Right. Right. That's a great point. That's a great point.
You went to the trouble of making this like a sacred fight, and then you just wrecked it. Why do they do this? You just wrecked it.
You destroyed it.
You blew the whole thing.
I knew as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, here we go.
The fact that you knew I was going to say it as soon as you saw it proves my point. You saw the world that they built collapsing around you. After and like, can someone maybe just, Roman, can you pick up the pace, walk into the ring? Can you just move a little bit quicker? I mean,
just a little bit. Right.
He's a tribal chief. We're on his time. He's not on our time.
That's true.
Well, you say that, but then next week they're going to show that he's on our time because they're not going to live in the world they built.
Did you notice that he only had one belt?
Oh no, I didn't notice. Well,
Yeah.
usually Paul Heyman carries the other two. Did he not have them?
No, nope.
That's true.
Interesting.
I don't know why that matters, but
Well, I mean, those other two belts should have been retired when he got the gold one. That was the whole point.
yeah,
of that. But
3 looks really cool.
yeah, hey, 4 look great.
Well, that's a good point, Boots. I mean, you're right. You're right. I mean, now we're assuming what tribal rules meant. We're assuming because he stopped Solo that meant that you're assuming that. We weren't told that.
To be fair, I am assuming it. But why am I
Right.
assuming that? Because that's what the narrative led me to believe.
Right.
So unless
right.
you're going to show me a good reason why that wasn't the case, maybe a surprise angle, like you have to explain that or it's nonsensical.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. And it was quite the opposite from last week.
Yeah, they just gave him a shit kicking.
Right.
It's like,
His foot was literally hanging off the rope. Like he looked like his arm was twisted. I'm like, that's a dead body. That is a dead body. That's unbelievable. That's a dead body.
yeah. Now maybe they'll come out this week and be like, well, I consulted the elders and they said I can beat you up or something. I don't know. But like
A little side note.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, I'll take it if you at least that.
They're going to play the elders card.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. My complaints aside, I do want to say this: Jey Uso has really stepped up and cut some awesome promos as of late.
Yeah.
And I can almost put the Cody situation out of my mind to enjoy this match. Almost.
Excellent.
But Tex, you get to go first for the final match.
Oh no.
What is your prediction for Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso?
My
Tribal
prediction is 6 months from now, you're gonna be like, and this is why Jay should have won the belt. So
right. And this is why Jey Uso should have won.
No, well, I'll let you continue. I don't want to step on your.
there is no way Jay wins this, but I want him to so bad. It's where we're at in this bloodline storyline right now is how is he gonna lose? Something's gonna happen at the end, and what's it? So we're pretty much just wasting 40 minutes of a match just to see what the ending is. But Roman wins this, sadly.
Well,
Right.
I'd have to say I'm inclined to agree with you. I do not think I think your prediction on me 6 months from now is correct because I don't think Jay should win this match. I think that they've committed to this road, and anything less than Roman carrying that belt to WrestleMania 40 would be anticlimactic and a bad choice. So yeah,
It'd be the most shocking moment.
It
in
would be a
long
shock.
time.
Let me tell you, if you're sick of me talking about Cody Rhodes,
Right.
you wait to see how upset I am if they, after having Cody lose at Mania, have Jay win at SummerSlam. That will be that will make me upset. But
I love that idea so much that I'm predicting Jey Uso is going.
Oh,
Cole
Hey,
is
I
predicting
think-
Jey Uso.
Yeah, I'm going with Uso. I'm
if
going with
he's
Uso.
right- If he's right, we should just give him a card.
That's right. I'm going for Uso, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going for Uso. Roman Reigns explained it. He said, listen, at the end of this, I'm still Roman Reigns, right? So
Yeah.
he's still a star. Jey Uso then becomes champion. Roman Reigns, he's talking about being the face of the company and all that stuff. I don't know if Jey Uso's ready for that yet, but he wins. But Roman Reigns is still Roman Reigns. He doesn't lose anything. If Jey Uso loses, then
That's the
the
whole argument
bloodline
about-
story does not advance. Then what happens now? Oh, he lost, and now it's just recycling the same stuff. This has to happen.
Yeah.
Jey Uso must win this to complete the bloodline story arc. This is how you have to stick the landing. And you stick the landing by Jey Uso defeating Roman Reigns and taking the belt. That's how you stick the landing.
Except that if you remove the name Jey Uso and insert the name Cody Rhodes, your exact argument is why Cody Rhodes has to win at WrestleMania, and he didn't win then. So WWE,
Well, maybe they learned their lesson because they're tired of hearing Shoe Boots talk about it every week on the Wrestling is for Losers podcast. Maybe it's that.
They do.
Maybe
listen.
they learned their lesson.
They do tell me that's the least favorite part. They don't even mind the AEW stuff. It's the Cody stuff they don't like.
That's true. That's true. Rain. That's
right.
true. Triple H calls Tex all the time. It's
Cole,
going to be Jey Uso. It's
you were
going to complete the story arc without a doubt.
You are making a wild prediction, and I hope that if you're right, that you go to your local toy store and buy the WWE equivalent of this and show up with your own WWE championship next week if you're right, because that is a crazy prediction.
Yeah.
And I can't see it. And maybe I'm blinded by what I've been watching for the last 2 years, and I can't believe that they would do that. So maybe your semi-outsider experience is
right.
is
Like
letting
I've got
you see
beginner's
things.
luck here. I've got beginner's luck here.
Well, we
maybe.
know you don't have beginner's luck because we did our Money in the Bank predictions a couple months ago.
Well, that's the
That
truth.
did not
No,
go your way.
That did not pan out. No, that did not pan out.
Okay, so here's a big question. Does Solo or Jimmy turn on their partners? Is
Right.
Solo going to turn on Roman, or
Is
is
there going to be a
Jimmy?
big twist at the end of this?
Yeah, is Jimmy
Yeah.
going to turn on Jay?
Is Damian going to cash in?
I could see him trying and failing.
I don't think he will, but
I don't think so.
I mean,
I
that's interesting because Solo has already turned against Roman, so I don't think he would do that again.
Well, Solo, he hasn't turned, and but he keeps having like eyeballs for the belt and for the
Mm.
I feel like they're building
necklace.
that Solo's going to fight Roman at some point, maybe at Survivor Series or something like
probably.
that. Maybe
Right.
Royal Rumble next year, like he's gonna fight him, but I don't think we're there yet. I don't know what I can't think of like a big shocker that's going to happen at the end of this, but at the same time, I feel like there's going to be one. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know, man.
the only
I
thing
know what you're saying.
The only thing I can think of is like after all of this, the elders come in.
Rikishi,
Rikishi. It could be
Oh.
Rikishi.
can you do the butt thing to?
I think if he comes in, he's wearing like tribal outfit. He's not in his character.
Oh, sweet.
So Cole probably doesn't know who Rikishi is. Rikishi is a WWE Hall of Famer who is the father of Jimmy and Jey Uso.
Right. I saw that on this little the little thing they have on the screen when he walked in. It said
Yeah.
son of famous Hall of Famer Rikishi.
That's another
Yeah.
reason why it could be. Like, why are they throwing that information out there for us? Maybe it's coming. And
That would be pretty epic.
If they're going to build this bloodline story, at some point they need to bring in the rest of the family. Now, I don't know about the Wild Samoans. They're like a really long throwback. I don't even know if they're alive, but maybe they get involved. We'd have to like go.
I thought Roman's dad was one of them. I could be wrong.
It could be because Roman. What's the relationship between The Rock and Rikishi? Are they cousins?
Think so.
I mean, The Rock could walk in. I don't think
In real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all part of this.
Oh.
They're all part of this wrestling dynasty.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that goes back decades. Like,
Wow.
The Rock is a third generation WWE wrestler. Like, that's how far back this goes.
Yep.
Amazing.
His dad was a tag team champion in the 80s, and his grandfather was a champion in like the 60s. Actually, I don't know if his grandfather was ever champion, but like that family has the deepest. They're probably the most royal family of wrestling. If you're going to have that argument.
Wow.
I forget the name of the family off the top of my head. But yeah, so I think that like that's the only place you can go if you're going to get another 6 months out of this story. Is you got to bring in the rest of the family.
I agree.
I know that The Rock's daughter is training in NXT right now. Maybe she gets involved. I don't know.
Wow. That's
Gretchen says
awesome.
Maivia. Yeah, High Chief Peter Maivia was The Rock's grandfather, but that family doesn't use that name when describing themselves as a wrestling family. I forget what it is off the top of my head.
Well, that's epic,
Yeah.
dude. That would be very epic if like the elders showed up and the big music. That would be epic. That would be amazing. Especially when Jey Uso then wins and takes the belt. That'll make it even more special. So yeah, so we're good. We're good, boys.
What about Randy Orton? When does he come in?
Oh boy.
Right.
All right. Mark
He
that
comes
on
in
the
with a
bingo
blood
card.
test revealing he's related to the family.
Yes, exactly. He runs in with the printout.
Yeah.
I'm related.
He comes in with Maury, and
Good to go.
Man.
Exciting, man. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be it's a packed, stacked, cracked out card for SummerSlam. I think it's going to be amazing to watch. I'm really looking forward to it. Like I said, I even renewed Peacock for it. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be just jammed up, especially seeing LA Knight wrestle in it as well.
Yeah.
With the big
Yeah.
surprise match.
Right.
Yeah. So looking forward to that as well.
Right. LA Knight somehow steals the briefcase, cashes in, and beats Roman Reigns.
Well, that's a little intense. Maybe not that, but God, can you imagine? That'd be unbelievable.
I'm down for it. I am down for it.
Just insane, ludicrous stuff.
It sounds so stupid, but when I said it out loud, I was like, I might be on board with it.
Yeah, I that
I'll be a
works.
complete hypocrite with everything I've been saying for the last several weeks, but I might just be into it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right. Well, we're going to end it there, folks. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to write to the show, especially about some of the topics that we might do coming up, we will respond. You can email us at wrestlinglosers@gmail.com, or you can X me at the Shoe Boots. X is the new name for Twitter, by the way. If you're
Yes.
You can talk to Elon about that. So,
Right.
yeah, it was a great show. Looking forward. We'll see you next week. This is fun, guys. I don't want to put you on the spot, but so I won't. I think we're just going to end it. Thanks.
Woo! Very
I'm
excited.
having a
Very pumped.
technical difficulty here.
Yeah, no, very excited for SummerSlam. As I was saying, it's going to be awesome. And I'll admit, from somebody that's just now watching wrestling, we started with AEW. It was amazing. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. I switched on over to WWE. Not a big fan at first, Tex. Not a big fan.
Understandable.
But now it's working through. I'm getting into the stories. I'm getting into everything. And now I'm becoming a really big fan of WWE. So I personally am exceedingly excited for SummerSlam. I think, like I said, this is going to be stacked. This is going to be great to watch. So
Yes,
can't
sir.
wait.
Yeah, should be good. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me, for Colt, and for Tex. Later, losers.